I'm Lindsay, and today I want to get right into it and talk about motivation, mindset, and behavioral change. Because one of the biggest things that, as a wellness coach, that is probably like one of my biggest pet peeves is when people always say to me like, oh, I wish I was motivated, or oh, you're lucky because you're so self-motivated. And I just wanted to say, like, it has nothing to do with motivation oftentimes. Like, I think people think that motivation is this thing that, like, either you have or you don't have, and that, like, if you don't have it, it's just something that naturally, like, you're never going to. Like, it's just this, like, weird, I don't know. Like, it's sort of, like, it's not something that's possible for them. So I just wanted to chat really quick about the top mistakes that people make when it comes to talking about motivation, or even just finding their own motivation. So the first is that it's not one size fits all. Oftentimes people think like what works for one person is what has to work for them, and that's not the case at all. Just like anything else, like people are motivated in different ways, just like different nutrition plans work for different people. Like, we're not all the same. So we're not all going to be motivated the same way. And it's up to us to figure out what motivates us, like what works and what doesn't work for us. The next thing is that you don't believe in yourself enough. And I see this a lot because, like, the foundation of anything is self-belief. And you have to work on your mindset daily. It's the foundation. If you don't work on that, then, like, how do you expect to, like, have any type of motivation, or when things change, when things come your way in life? Because shit will happen. And, like, if you don't have a strong sense of belief in yourself, like, you're just gonna get, deterred from whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in the first place. Third is that you're waiting for external motivation type factors. So this is what I hear often, is that people say to me, oh, if I had you as my coach, then I'd be motivated. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, you need to, like, look within yourself and your own self-reliance, because nobody will take care of you more than you will take care of yourself. And it's up to you to, decide to find ways to motivate yourself, and work with your coach. Your coach can help, but it's up to you to figure out, like, what it is that you really want and why you want it, and then your coach will be able to help guide you through that. And talking about that, that's number 4, which is not digging deep enough within your own goal setting. So your why has to be super, super, super strong. The definition of motivation is your reason or reasons you have to behaving in a certain way in the first place. So if you're not like really figuring out why it is that you want a certain goal and what it is that you want from it, then how do you expect, to accomplish that goal, like, once things happen and things change and, you get off course, or the days that you wake up and you don't feel motivated? Like, if you have a strong enough reason, then you'll still keep fighting for whatever it is that you want. And that's, like, this is, like, one of the biggest, right? It's, like, I think the most important. It's, like, one of the first steps that I do with my clients when we sit down and talk about goals, because it's not just like the goal itself. It's like, what will that goal provide for you in your life? So, many of my clients will just tell me, like, at first, when we're first chatting, it's about, like, losing the last 5 to 10 pounds or 10 to 20 pounds, like, whatever it is. And really, that's not it. That's really not what's going to motivate somebody. Like, when the going gets tough and it's time for them to wake up for a 5 a.m. workout, it's not going to be their, that's right, I set a goal for 5 to 10 pounds. Like, that's not what's going to get people out of bed. That's not what's going to motivate you to get to where you want to be. So it really has to be like, what will you get from that? What will you gain from that? What will that goal that you have give you in your life? Number 5 is that the goals and actions aren't in alignment. And I see this happen often, is that people have these like grand ideas for their goals, and yes, they really want what they say that they want. However, what happens from time to time is they set up certain goals and actions that aren't in alignment to maybe the things that are important to them and that they won't give up. For instance, like if you want to be home to cook your family dinner every night at 5 p.m., but you sign up for a boot camp that happens at the same exact time, and 5 days a week you have to be there, and now you're struggling trying to like manage family time on top of maybe your own, your own time, your own wellness, and that's not in alignment. So like your actions aren't in alignment with your life and what you kind of said that you wanted in the first place and what's important to you. So that's also really important when it comes to figuring out your goals and figuring out, what the action steps are to help you get to that goal and stay motivated. Number 6 is that I see too many people trying to change too many things at once. So this often happens especially when we're working on our health. That's like a big part of our life, that when people say like, okay, I'm gonna start eating healthy, I'm gonna start exercising, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and I'm gonna get my workout in, and I'm gonna not eat anything processed. And then what happens next is like, it's too much. It's like too demanding, and we don't accomplish any of that. So eventually it's more or less about like making these behavioral changes like in small little baby steps. And the last one, number 7, is sometimes we use like the wrong style of rewards or recognition for ourselves because we think that we want one thing, but we realize maybe something changes and we don't want that. So either, the rewards aren't rewarding enough, or maybe something, changed your course along the way, and we need to kind of update how we're going to reward ourselves. So I see people do this often, is like, a lot of people in the beginning of changing up their wellness plan will want to reward themselves with like a treat meal once a week or every other week. And what will happen at that point is that they will at some point like realize what they thought was like a reward. Suddenly they don't even want that reward anymore. That maybe they have to change what it is that they're going to recognize and reward themselves with. So those are my top 7 mistakes that I see people making as far as motivation. I'm working on some really cool stuff regarding behavioral change, when I'm going to be starting to add this in as I work with my clients. So I'm going to be doing, for the next few days, a couple more videos on behavioral change and motivation and mindset. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Leave me some feedback in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys want to hear more of in regards to this topic. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.